Dimensions video number 11 on this channel. Oh yeah. This WOD never gets old. I can never escape it. uh, I've actually wanted to redo this map for like the last 2 years for various reasons I'll talk about all throughout and later on especially. The beginning fight with all these zombie men, dude, it looks so easy in this. It like everything just moves out of my way and dies in front of me. But those zombie men, I mean, they can keep you like held there for seconds, wasting time. They can keep you held there for seconds, allowing cybers to shoot you in the back and stuff. And then of course this, you get a voodoo doll invisibility. It's unavoidable, and you're gonna be invisible the whole time throughout this. So the cybers can have like these random offsets. Of course, it doesn't. The invisibility, like the rocket, doesn't actually correspond to the way the sprite is facing. That doesn't mean anything. You have to actually like look in the air at the rockets. But it feels like about a 1 in 3 chance as you're crossing over, like here, for those edge cybers to shoot in the direction that you're going. It's 1 in 3 if they shoot, rather, is how I feel about that. Now, here comes the platforming, the big improvement over last time. I'm actually facing the cybers now, as Zool says to do in his text file. Got some decent control over my movement as I'm going around. Like, I stopped myself when I saw that rocket coming, and I had to move quickly when that rocket was following exactly the way I was going. Back in the day, I was actually like turning left on every single time, and this room just took forever because of it. But this looks way cooler. It's way more satisfying to see the plasma just taking them out. I was about 1 in 10 at this, though, is the thing. It's hard. And, you know, you come in invisible, and you have to start to fight while you're invisible because you want to save time and get a good time on this map for some reason. Now, this is a bit of a time loss right here, actually. When I'm walking around here, so you hear that sound, it's like a few seconds later. The platforms that make a bridge to get out of here are actually up maybe a few seconds before I actually get here. So if you find like a better movement pattern, you can save a few seconds over me there. It's usually about 2:10 or so when I take that teleporter. Now in here, this rev fight, it's objectively the easiest part of the run. And the thing is, it's like the order of things, right? This is the only good order of things because the plasma from the invisibility area helps you in the platforming. The rockets from the platforming help you here. The rockets and the extra megasphere, really, that you get. It's really, I mean, it's really the megasphere that helps you, so you can tank the rev missiles when you mess up. The extra rockets too, because you get such a head start on killing these guys, where otherwise you would have to run all the way across here while they're teleporting in. So if you come here first, in your blind run, which a lot of people do, it's actually a pretty tough fight. But when you do this, it's significantly easier. I had like 3 deaths here, and I mean, pressure gets to you because you don't get past the platforming very often. And it is pretty late in the run, and you're thinking, all right, you know, I gotta do the finale, but it's like, no, you have this first, and you still need to move well. The whole thing is crossover well as you're like, you know, when you're right here, just try to cross over at a good time. It's kind of the obvious thing. Just find when there's not a lot of rockets coming. When you get around the big cluster, back up slowly so you don't back up into a bunch of 80s. And just beware of your rockets, beware of your health, and pick up stuff when you need stuff. It's all behind you. And then the other thing, so for time-wise, if you can like get past these guys like as early as you can and maybe kill them from behind you, get out of here a little bit quicker than I did. The best run that I had, press the switch that starts the finale at 350, and you see this one presses at 4 minutes. Definitely some time to save in this run. And of course, you know, wait a second and wait a second here. You saw the fire like right here. That signifies that Archviles targeted me and then I hid instantly. So that's you can actually like rely on that to show you that there's Archviles zapping you. And then that was another improvement. I'll show you as I go around again. But yeah, so there was no fire, so I was able to just go right away. And taking out these corner cybers. You have noxious zaps. You can get one right there. I saw him in fighting with those revs, so I took a quick peek behind me to make sure there were no rockets. You saw that fire again, so I was waiting behind that wall. Now, don't get overzealous on killing these corner cybers. That's a big tip that I would have. Because I have had moments where I try to like take out the cybers and I'm like, all right, I need to get rid of all the like corner cybers before the second phase starts, but not necessarily. You have plenty of time to take out most of them with like decent tracers. As long as you try to aim the BFG balls as best as you can. Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about, was hitting that wall to get the tracers as I turn around that corner with that one cyber. I think will help a lot to navigate that corner a little bit better. But yeah, see, I wasn't trying to get too close to that guy. Handled that again. And that was actually an infighting rocket. Rocketed me into that megasphere. I don't know if I reacted and went into the megasphere or it pushed me into it, but maybe I can just take credit for it. Who knows? Now look at this. So these two cybers. Now right now it's 5:30. I pressed the switch at 4 minutes, so these archviles are about due. Now if we can listen. No, I think it already happened, but if you, you'd probably have to pull up the demo yourself or like the map yourself. You'll hear a cyber wake-up noise in here, which is how you'll know that the second phase has started up and you can start your J shapes. So here goes the J, like it's kind of a reverse J, and I just stop at that wall, and yeah, so archvile zapped me. It's gonna happen. Just try not to shoot in the direction where those archviles came out. Don't let any tracers go that way because you might just get something. Yeah, my health was low, and look at this. Because my health was low, I needed that megasphere, so I was like, all right, we're just gonna go all in, and we're just gonna try for the invuln. And I mean, I'm here. Because the thing is, that was my thought process in that moment. Like, I was like, I need to do another J. Like, I would go and get the invuln on the other way around, like at the tip, on the other side. I would go from where there's a ton of cover and go from there to the invuln. But no, this time I didn't have any health. I was like, I'm probably not gonna survive that way around with 68 health. Infighting rockets, you know, can get me at any time, not to mention like literally everything else. So I just went in for that, I went in for that megasphere, and here we are. I live to tell the tale. But yeah, now here goes the cleanup. So anyway, for for the last 2 years, basically every once in a while I'd pull up this map. I'd die in the first 2 fights and remember why I was so annoyed at the run in the first place. Why I never wanted to redo it in the first place, you know. But I am glad that I did it now, because back in the day I probably would have still waited for the invisibility to run out before starting the platforming. But nowadays I'm like, let's just go all in, let's take the risk. And I believe that anybody with really good like movement kind of control over that platforming, anyone who can also navigate a hard fight like this, it's a tough overlap. I don't know that a lot of people have that, although it's been a while. I think there's a lot more really good players out there these days. So but yeah, I think anybody who can do those couple things can get this time from me, because if you just, it's not like something where you do a crazy route. It's just if you do the things that are done in this run, you'll get a pretty competitive time. So yeah, best of luck to anyone who tries to improve this time. Definitely doable. So the best run, I was saying, like the best run that I had, press that switch that starts the finale at 350. I played that one out. It was gonna exit at 828. Now of course you have to take into consideration that some demos will fail because the revs from the rev fight won't teleport into the finale. So just be mindful of that. You may have to deal with that once it's possible. But anyway, there it is, 844. Saved the whole 2 seconds. But anyway, so it's definitely doable to beat the time. I think I've given plenty of tips on doing that. Do like to see the the improvement over the last 2 years. I did the finale basically the same way. This time I was kind of robbed of, you know, I wasn't able to show like exactly the way that I normally do it. I would have delayed maybe another 10 seconds. I mean, not necessarily, but usually it's about 6:30 where I decide, okay, let's go for the invuln, but I'm going for it at 6:20. The biggest tip in the finale is if there's any way that you can, like as far as time wise, if there's any way that you can take out cybers better, like with the invuln or even without the invuln, that is probably your best bet to save time, because the end always ends with cybers. So if you can shift the balance of the infighting in the opposite direction, that'll help you and save a few seconds. So hope you guys enjoyed. Next time, peace.